Yes, lads, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today, we're going to be discussing the current state of FIFA 23, some of the positives and some of the negatives as well, and my overall experience up until this point. Let's get into it. Does your team look like this? Do you struggle to complete those game-changing SBCs and play with the best players in FIFA 23? If you said yes to any of this, then you need to get over to AYYLP and secure yourself some cheap and reliable Fut coins and use code AYYLP at checkout for an extra 3% off. Jeez. So in terms of starting point for this video, I really want to dive in and talk about rivals initially, because this is my biggest bugbear with the game at the moment. I'm not too sure if it's any of yours. I've played actually zero games this season. I played virtually, well, I got to elite in the last season, but then realized it's just not worth it. And it's not necessarily just because of rivals the reason why I stopped playing rivals. Ultimately, it doesn't matter if you're an elite. If your ceiling is, say, Division 3, you're going to be playing the people you consider sweats in your division. So the people you struggle against, the people you have good games against, which is fine. And if that stayed in rivals and just in rivals, then I would be okay with it. It's great to have a competitive game mode where you can, test yourself against people at similar skill levels. My biggest problem is how it kills the fun for other game modes once you leave rivals. So you're done with sweating rivals. You got your 8 wins. You're happy. You've got your rewards for the week. So then you decide to go and play in a cup. Fantastic friendlies mode, bear in mind. And because it's skill-based matchmaking off your division rivals, you are then again playing the same levels and the same sweats that you were playing in your division. So you can't escape it. If you reach your ceiling, you're going to go into friendlies and play people on your level every single game. And again, not a major issue. The biggest problem with this is that a lot of the tournaments, a lot of things like First Home Fiesta are game limited. So for First Home Fiesta, you've got 12 games to win 7. And if you're at elite level and you get unlucky and you play 6 people that are much better than you, then you're screwed. You've essentially, you can't get the full reward, which is a massive problem. Rather than even, you need skill-based matchmaking for friendlies, but I think it needs to be wider. I think if you're an elite, you should be able to play anyone from Division 4 to your division and elite. So you're getting a wide range, rather than you're just playing people Division 1 sometimes, but mostly elite. And it completely kills your enjoyment of the tournaments. Since stopping playing rivals, so I've just sat in Division 2, just chilling, I've really enjoyed the cups, really enjoyed First Home Fiesta. And that's mainly because obviously I'm playing below my usual skill level, which, I'm essentially sandbagging myself so I don't have to sweat in the week. Like, I love competing on the weekend and in weekend league. Amazing. Give me it. I love pushing myself when it comes to getting the best rank in Fut Champions. But the system in Fut Champions is much better in the form base. You start off 0 and 0. You're a 0 form. And as you win, you start playing harder people. So it progressively gets harder. But if you jump into rivals and you're, having a crap day and you just want to play a couple of casual games and you've reached your elite, you're going to be playing someone that wants to rip your head off. And some days you can be bothered for it. You will enjoy it. But then other days, if you've had a really, you push yourself in a weekend league, you've got yourself rank 2, rank 1, whatever, you just can't be asked for it. And then you can't escape it, because then you go into friendlies and you're then having to play the same people that you were going to play in rivals. So you're stuck. You can't do anything. Which leads me on to Fut Champs. By far the best game mode in this game. Fut Champs qualifiers for starters. They need to make this like the DKT. So yeah, your first round of it, you get your 4 wins, you qualify, you get some packs. But then after you complete it, they should do for every 10 games you play, whatever record you get some packs. They're like 10 games, you get 10-0, you get maybe not as good as the first time around when you qualify. Even if it was like single 100k pack or like a 50k pack, give me something to play for other than rivals and friendlies. Then when you get into champs, now this seems like more of a recent problem. When you get into champs at the moment, which, you know, it isn't that bad. It's just when you get up the ranks, the 0-0 quitters are, you know, they're annoying, but I can work around them. They don't piss me off too much. They're just it just is what it is until EA make people, you know, either get punished for quitting 0-0 or you get the win anyways. Then people are going to continue to do it, and you've just got to kind of push past it. It's fine. The biggest issue at the moment is hackers. And within Fut Champs at the moment, there's two main hacks that I've come across personally. This really, it just stops you. What's the point? You can't get to rank 1 at the moment because you are playing someone that's hacking. So you've either got people doing the ultimate AI plays for you. They can play like anyone in striker, bronze players, whatever, and they can just laser beam it from top corner. And the way they play is like unreal. It's ultimate AI, you know. And if they've got a half decent team, then you've got no chance. And if they like using like a super meta team along with the ultimate AI, you've got literally no chance. And then the one that is the newest one at the moment is the invisibility. You'll go into a game and you won't be able to see any of your opponent's players, any of the runs they're making, any of the players they're marking your team. And ultimately, if you win, you're like, Jesus, you're your best player in the game. But odds are you are going to lose if they're using like a top tier, if they've got like Mbappe and stuff and you don't know where they are. So that's my biggest issue. And again, I enjoy Fut Champs for the most part, both playoffs and finals. But you're limited to 3 days of Fut Champs a week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and early hours on Monday if you want to play early hours on Monday morning. And then qualification, you can only do it once. So, you know, you can't keep on playing if you want to, which is a little bit annoying. You've either got to go into friendlies or rivals, which I ain't going into rivals. And now that I'm starting to, you know, sandbag myself, friendlies is a lot more fun in the week. So I definitely recommend doing that. If you're not enjoying your experience at the moment, sacking off rivals could be your best bet. The market, I'm not too bothered about the market at the moment. The main issue is if you're a hardcore, getting to the elite tier is very difficult. Like your Ronaldinho's, your Hullets, you know. If you play this is the only game I play, sadly. But getting to the next level, you know, the 7-8 million coin players is very difficult. But then there's no in between. There's no middle ground like your 2-3 million coin players. There's not many. You got players like that. Road to the Final and Kunku, you've got like, I don't know, a couple of, you know, team of the years, but not too many players in that mid tier. And then you've got everything underneath that then. So the majority of each promo, you'll have 1, 2, maybe 3 top players, like no mid tier, and the rest is just fodder or just, you know, doesn't get into most people's teams because they've got players like AYYLP and Pogba. And to be fair, one of the positives I want to talk about is SBCs. I think some of the SBC content this year in terms of the players has been really good. I mean, sometimes they hit, sometimes they miss, but you've got like the Mane, especially the ones around Team of the Year were amazing. They did let themselves down a few times, but like there was the Champions League rewinds, wasn't it? And we had what's his name? Spinazzola, didn't we? We got Spinazzola, and that was it. I think they classed the Fernando Torres. But you had him, which is a pretty sick card. Still not the best in his position in his league, by the way. But he was the only card. Like you could have had like Sergio Roberto for like, I don't know, Barcelona bias, but that moment against PSG. You could have had Origi. You could add so many different players with like amazing moments in the Champions League, but they opted not to do anything with it, which is like, crazy to me, because like some of the concepts you see on like Twitter, all you need to do is look at some of the concepts. Like they would be insane. It would be amazing. Some of the SBC players they could make, but we just got one Spinazzola, and you know, perfect for some people. Say, I know not everyone can afford Theo Hernandez, and Spinazzola is a good card, but they could have just done so much more with it. But then you had Team of the Year where they released like the Fofana, the Mane, the Bale. Who else came out now? The Paul Pogba, the Hugo Sanchez. Team of the Year was an amazing time for SBCs, and then it kind of fell off. Then everything else has really been like a gamble SBC. Like if you go into the squad SBCs at the moment, you've got a couple of. I completed the Dortmund lad, but that's the only showdown card I completed. There's not one for El Clasico. I don't know why. Maybe because it's the cup, but still, I'm not happy with that. But like the cards are just so. I'm down for them picking cards. They're not. That's pointless as well. Like Rodrigo, he wasn't even man of the match. I'm down for them to pick cards like different ones. You know, like just make them a little bit better. You know, give them a 5-star skills, give them 5-star weak foot. You know, make them not end game, but make them semi-usable, or like make a decision. Like there ain't no way any of these cards are replacing like most people's Jarzinhos or like their Mbappes, or and they probably shouldn't. But you know, at least make us think with at least one or two of the cards, and then they've been too expensive. On top of that, there's been no real way to grind fodder, so it's like you're kind of left with either the store grinding whatever low rated you got, bronze pack method, but who wants to do that? And that's it. But EA just push you up, kind of pushing us towards a store, which until they fix invisibility glitch, I am not putting any money in this game until they start fixing some of the really bad issues, you know, like invisibility and so on. But you know, it is what it is. If you play them, I just quit 0-0. I ain't put myself through that. But then we've had a lot of gamble SPCs, and they are fun. I do enjoy the gamble SPC, but the game seems like it's become a bit of a casino where we're waiting for the next gamble SPC. I've not completed any of these because they're just shocking value, and this one is ultimate laziness. It's just the same SPC over and over and over again. But some positives. I love the cups. So every other week, I think that's kind of the way they've done it. We'll probably get a cup Friday. I love the cups. Wish it was more games you could play a day. You can only really play 4 or 5 a day. But overall, I really liked them, and they were amazing at the end of last FIFA, and I'm glad they brought them across to this one because they are really nice. But again, if you reach your rank in Rivals, it is hell, and it takes the fun out of it because you're just sweating for 5 games. It's like playing an additional 5 games of Rivals, which no one wants. Stop playing Rivals. Enjoy the cups. Enjoy First Own Fiesta. First Own Fiesta, you know, at the start, the rewards were garbage, and you couldn't really, you know, get anything from it. But I think EA actually listened on this one, to be fair. And we've now got, I complete it every single week. Like you get the 83 plus doubles, 81 plus doubles, but then mainly get the 82 times 10 for like 7 wins. It's like pretty good in the week, you know, and you should be taking a chance on that because that's pretty sick. So I've enjoyed the way that works. I just wish it was separate from Rivals. But leave in the comments down below what your thoughts are. It's not really a rant video. Is like I don't really want, you know, to bash the game. Like it's the only game I play, so I must enjoy. And the gameplay itself is really good. Not really good, but like better than like some of the other FIFAs we had. The gameplay has been much better. You know, it's not as like arcadey and you know, there is less cheese, but it's still cheesy. But in terms of when you compare it to like last year, the year before, and the year before, I think it's been one of the better titles. But yeah, leave in the comments down below what your thoughts are. Always interested to hear how you feel about the game, and let me know if I'm off with any of it. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.